Well, g'day everyone. I'm here to teach you how to make a wicked cup of coffee at home. There's coffee shops shutting down because of canola virus. I know what you're thinking. Surely that's going to take some fancy equipment that I might not have just lying around my house. You might not. So we'll start with the very first thing that you need, a stove. To make your stove, you're going to need a few key ingredients: a Stanley knife, a decent pair of scissors, methylated spirits, a lighter, a beer, a decent thirst on you. First step is to kickstart your beer and get rid of the liquid in it. Once you've emptied your beer, take your Stanley knife and cut it in half. Be careful not to cut yourself. Get some. Yes. Oh. You're going to come out with two pretty rough and uneven halves. You're going to want to trim these down so they're roughly the same height. Snip it and rip it. Trim it up with the scissors later on. Try and line it up so that the top half is slightly deeper than the bottom half. You want to cut the top out of the top with your Stanley knife. Be careful, Abe. Fuck. Take two fingers, be an adult about that, and rest them on the inside of the ring. Poke your two fingers into the hole and basically crimp in between your fingers up to the top ridge line. Move your fingers and go around the whole way. And there we go. You see this new shape that we got going on. Put the top half into the bottom half. The last step is to get your Stanley knife again. Make a few pilot holes between the rim and the top ridge. We want to make 4 of these. Arts and crafts, but with beer and fire. Take your can, fill it up with methylated spirits, and then torch it. Take your pot, fill it up with water. That's a big flame. Chuck it on your stove. While your water's boiling, get your beans and your brew set up ready. This is a hand grinder. It's got ceramic burrs inside. A good grinder is much more important than having brewing equipment. Coffee's like anything else. The longer it ages, the more stale it becomes. For every 3 seconds that coffee is ground is the equivalent to a day's worth of aging as a whole bean.
Wow, cool, bro.
That's why having one of these is the most valuable thing that you can have to brew coffee at home. Take a filter, smush it in there. Don't worry if it looks a little bit mangled and doesn't fit perfectly. Fold it over the rim of the cup. Back to your grinder, fill them up with your favorite beans. Start mincing. Mincing is a technical coffee term. At Costa Rica, El Capitan, Toby's estate. I've actually turbocharged my grind so that I don't have to crank it. I'm not saying you're a chump if you don't have a drill bit that can do this and you have to crank it. But this is way better. If your water's boiled before the cans run out of fuel, starve the fuel of oxygen, put your grounds into the paper filter, whack your water in, away you go. You want to give it a bit of a stir around, or an agitation if you're a coffee wanker. Something that won't rip the filter like this wooden spoon is perfect. It's sort of like Milo coffee. After you've let it steep for about 30 seconds, grab either side of the filter paper, pull it up like a tea bag, slosh a bit of milk in there if you like a flat white, leave it black if you're just jonesing. DIY coffee including stove, there you go. Beat it, coronavirus, cheers.